Welcome to Pre-Lab Part 2. We're going to give you some tips and instructions, and then we're going to show you a short example run. So stay tuned. There's a lot of information here. We're going to re-emphasize our weighing tools for a moment. I want to make sure that you know that you are all going to have everything you see here in this picture at your station except for the weigh papers. Now there's two spatulas. That's so that you can avoid cross-contaminating your reagents. Don't swap them. So this is your set, of course, for your turnings. And this is the set for magnesium oxide. Now notice the magnesium oxide is pictured with the 4-inch papers and the turnings with the 3. We're going to explain that here in a minute. So now these weighing tips are put together in room 210. So you're looking at the 210 balances. People in 213, you'll need to adjust yourselves accordingly. It's not a big deal. Heather's going to show you some tricks for folding paper that are really handy and some ways to keep your sample stable. So watch as Heather demonstrates the process. First thing she's going to do is she's going to mark her paper. This might seem a little redundant, but it's a good habit to get into. Watch her fold this. Now when she folds it out, it ends up being kind of like a small bowl. She puts a cork ring on the balance. Places this, kind of pushes it down. It will be more stable this way. Now I want you to note at this point, though, that you don't have to do it this way. So here come the turnings. If you have too many of them, use scissors to get them back. And that's about what it should look like. So Heather's going to repeat the process with the bigger paper. Now you'll also find that if you fold the paper as we're showing you, that when you go to dispense the reagent into the acid sample, it'll be a little easy to do. It just naturally makes for funnels, so to speak. Load the powder. Remember to put your caps back on, and that's what it should look like. Watch this next clip very carefully. You must do this properly. So Heather's got her cup over here. The first thing she's going to do is she's going to use the stirring retriever to retrieve the bean. Don't weigh with the bean in place. Now she's going to tare her cup. 213 people, remember, this load will be close to but not over the maximum your balances will handle. She has a 0. Keeping her hand on the calorimeter cup, she pours in the acid. She makes sure that there's nothing on the outside of it. Inspect it. Sit on the pan. Get your mass. And this is why we're so careful. One time someone spilled acid on this and we didn't know about it soon enough, and that's what happened. It ended up ruining the balance. So please be extra careful with the acid, and if you happen to spill any onto the pans, tell us immediately. Okay, now we're going to go for Logger Pro. So you go into the Logger Pro file. You find the Hess's Law. You open it. It'll ask you for a probe unless you've already connected the probe, and we will have already done that. So you have your probe. Now you're getting a temperature. Now we're going to prepare the cup. Bean, lid. We already have our alignment. Line everything up according to the tape you already put on your upright and your hot plate. Turn the bean on, not very fast. Hit collect. Now you're collecting data every half second. After a time, you'll get to a point where you have a stable temperature. At that point, tip up the edge of your top and dump in your reagent. Get it all. And it takes right off. Past the minute mark, you'll see coming into a minute and a half, it's already starting to lay over just a little bit. So we're past our minute and a half. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, we're definitely nearing the top of our trajectory. Coming up on 2.5 minutes, we're seeing a definite leveling. By 3.5 minutes, we are definitely stable and declining. So notice we have a 31.4 and it's been there for quite a while. You now hit stop. And now we'll show you how to extract your data. This is not a calorimeter run. It's just a dummy I made up. I'm going to use it to show you how to extract statistics the easy way from your Logger Pro. So you go up to your toolbar and you see that you have a button labeled Stat. I've enlarged it here. You hit Stat and you get this little box. Now notice the handles. You can drag the handles back and forth. You keep the entire thing. Well, you can drag them if you can get a hold of them. You can keep all of the data, or you can just focus in on a particular part. You're going to want to keep most everything. Now notice there's a grayed out area on the graph and a grayed out area in the data table. They correspond. As you move the one, the other moves as well. And now we're going to show you some formatting options that you may or may not decide to use. So if you click on the statistics box, right click, you get this. If you click on appearance, you get the next box. And when you click your way out of it, you end up with something that looks like that you can move around. Now this is our finished first run. You'll notice that we've located the box, we have our handles aligned correctly, and we've also added a couple of text boxes for our own convenience, including our magnesium mass and our HCl solution mass. You may or may not want to do that, or you may or may not be instructed to do that. Good luck!